6 times your money. Would you be happy taking your money and then timesing it by 6? If the answer is yes, then I have a solution for you. It's called the FX Nest Egg. What it is it's specific to the Forex market, otherwise known as the foreign exchange. It's one of the world's largest financial investment realms. And what it does, you basically put some money inside of this account, and the Nest Egg is an algorithm which is designed to take that money and strategically invest into the foreign exchange to generate a return. That's the goal. And what's neat about this is it has a 7 calendar year track record of generating over a 600+% gain thus far and counting. And I'm here to share it with you and show you how it can ultimately change your financial future. Now, do you have to be a pro at the Forex market to really use this? The answer to that is no, you don't. But you have to have the right mindset, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Joshua Martinez, and I'm Marketers Institute's Director of Client Success. Now, I personally train tens of thousands of investors from all around the world, and what I do is I teach them how to strategically invest their money to make money for themselves. Okay, the neat thing about the Nest Egg is you have all the power. I'm not a money manager, so I'm not going to be, managing your money. That's not what I do. I teach you and I provide you the materials which you need to generate a nice little return. Okay, so personal stats. I've made over 15 months continuous gains thus far, which means I haven't had a losing month in over 15 months. I made over 42,000 pips in the Forex market and counting. If you know what the Forex market is, you know that's a whole lot. And I personally train tens of thousands of investors all around the world. I show them exactly what I do. And I'm winning over 70+% of my trades. So here's the deal. If you're going to use this Nest Egg, you have to make sure you have the proper mindset, and you have to have what's called a wealthy mindset versus a non-wealthy mindset. What does that mean? Well, let me kind of share with you the story. So my wife and I, we've been married for about 3 years now, and we have 2 kids. I have a 2-year-old boy and a 6-month-old boy. But before we were married, we went to a party when we were engaged, and I had to go because I'm her fiance, and that's, I guess that's what fiancés do. And so we went to this party, and she goes off to the girls, and then I go off to the guys. But the thing is, I didn't know any of these people, and they didn't know who I was. So I'm just kind of like there to appease my wife because I'm her fiance. So, just like with parties, people start talking, and then so this one guy who's very, very braggadocious, a very, very cocky individual, but he was talking about how he started with his company. He was making like $30,000 a year. And after like 4 or 5 years, he worked his way up to the ladder, and he's making over $100,000 a year. And I congratulated him and said, "It's fantastic. You always want great things to happen to other people." So I asked him, just naturally what I do, I'm an investor. So I asked him, I said, what are you doing with your money? And he goes, just laughing, he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out some keys and says he bought this new vehicle. And then he tells me how he moved from an apartment, how he bought this big giant mansion. And then he talked about, he points to his shoes, told me how expensive his shoes were and how he just came back from this place and that place. And they said, "Oh, you're a non-wealthy person." I didn't say that to him, but that's what I was thinking. Now, what does that mean? Look, the big difference between a wealthy person versus a non-wealthy person is a wealthy person will use their money strategically as a tool to make more money. Money doesn't make somebody wealthy. There's a lot of millionaires out there who win the lotto or who do like NBA or, these big athletes and boxers make all this money and they go broke. But if you have the mindset to use your money to make more money, this Nest Egg can really allow you to generate a nice little income. So one of the things which I've learned with training tens of thousands of people all around the world, especially when they're learning investment techniques, is they have like $5,000 a year which they can invest in. And it's my personal opinion that if you're watching this presentation, you have more than $5,000 a year. But let's just run the average, okay? Let me kind of show you exactly what I mean. What would $5,000 look like? Different avenues of investments compared to using the Nest Egg. So let's take a look. Okay, so because we're going to be talking about investments, it's important that you understand that there is risk involved. You should never invest money that you cannot afford to lose, and always keep equity management in mind, and understand that we're not CTAs, which stands for Commodity Trading Advisors. And what that basically means is that you have all the control over your own money. Just understand that there's risk and that you have to be educated to be intentional about making an appropriate decision on whether or not you want to take an opportunity or pass on an opportunity. Okay, so remember, wealthy persons, okay, versus non-wealthy person. A wealthy person works to invest their money. A non-wealthy person just works to pay their bills. Just like that guy I was telling you about. Doesn't matter if he worked or made $30,000 a year or $100,000 a year. He went out and he found bills to match his income, which basically means that if he loses his job or if he has to take a pay cut, he's going to have an imbalance and he's really going to financially hurt. But most people who are looking to invest, just like yourself, they have about $5,000 a year to invest with. And so what does that truly look like over like a 5-year period, 10-year period? And after like 10 years, what would your yearly gain look like after 10 years of investing and only taking out your yearly gain, okay? So what if you did something very tangible? What if you did something like a 5% gain? So every year you put in $5,000. Let's just say like January 1st, you just start out with $5,000 and then your $5,000 grows by 5%, and then the next January you put in another $5,000 and then all that grows by 5%. Well, after 5 years, you have $34,009. And after 10 years, you have $71,033. And after 10 years of investing $5,000 every single year and making about a 5% gain, you have a whopping $3,551 US every single year in which you can take out to spend. Now, let me ask you this question. Most people won't invest $5,000 a year for 10 years because they only make $3,551 a year just taking the money or their gains out at a 5%. In regards to time, most people would rather just spend the $5,000 on themselves because they can have more fun and make more memories along the way because the end goal of mine is not really worth it. So what does this really mean? It really means this, one of two things. You need to get a higher return or higher percentage gain return a year, or B, you need to have a whole lot more money. So let's think about this. Let's just say you do what? Let's just say, what about like a money manager? What if you find like a high risk money manager, someone that says, hey, I can get you like a 15% gain per year, but I'm gonna go through like very, really large drawdowns. But as long as you kind of stick with me over the years, I can get you 15%. What would that look like over 10 years? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so 15% gain. You put $5,000 in your account, and what ends up happening is you get 15% gain, and then next year you put another $5,000, and now you have, after 5 years, $43,768 US. And then in 10 years, you have about $121,746 US. And after 10 years of doing this, you have $18,261 US, which is actually pretty neat. If you really think about this, being able to make an extra $18,000 a year for most people is great supplemental income. So let me just ask you this. Would you be happy with an extra $18,000 a year? Yeah, I think most people would be like, well, that's almost $2,000 a month. An extra $2,000 a month of side income without having like another job, because like you would have to work like maybe 20 or 30 hours a week to be able to make like an extra $2,000 depending on what you do. Okay, so no physical labor, no nothing. A nice little $18,000 a year is actually pretty neat. Okay, but what if? Think about this for a second. What if? What if you have ambitions which are much larger than that? And what if you want to make more money than that? And what if in 10 years you say to yourself, I just used the nest egg. And in 10 years, if I just leave $5,000 into my trading account and every single year add an extra $5,000, let's just say January 1st, what would it look like with the nest egg returns? Okay, let's take a look. Now, the nest egg has a 32.2% yearly gain over average over a 7 calendar year track record, okay, and a real live money trading account. So what does that really mean? It really means this. If you put $5,000 in your account and you get a 32.2% gain for that year, and then the next year, let's just say January 1st, you put another $5,000, and 5 years of doing that, you have $67,362 US. In 10 years, you have $319,175 US. And after 10 years of doing this, if you were just to leave your money in your account and only take out your gains after 10 years of investing, you would have an income, a yearly income of $102,774 US. Now, let's just think about that for a moment, okay? Think about this. You are now making 6 figures just 10 years from now. That's over $100,000 US a year. And for most people who are watching this, they're saying to themselves, I can do $5,000 a year because most people can invest $5,000 a year. Just most people don't do it because, the gains are not really worth their time. They would rather make memories rather than, the short-term sacrifice. Now, some of you have much more than $5,000 that you can invest with, but this is a $5,000 average. Now, think about this. In like 10 years from now, you can use that money to begin to live a really high-quality lifestyle. Now, what other way can you really do this? Well, I guess you can go start your own company. And the reality, I'm not trying to say don't start your own company, because many of you have done that, you've taken the risk, but you know that there is a certain amount of risk involved. And you also know that, about 98% of all companies fail, statistically, they fail within like the first 10 years. This is a 7-year calendar track record of success. And this is just the average. What if it does better? What if it does worse? But what if it does better? This is the average. And so what I'm saying to you as an investor, that this is third-party verified. Let me go ahead and show you that track record, because this is all about making sure that this works for you. And it's not like you're putting in 60 hours of work either. It's not like you're putting in 80 hours of work that most of you would have to do with starting your own business. This is something in which you literally just put money into an account, you let the algorithm do its job, and you leave it alone. And it's designed to connect, set, and forget. So let's take a look at the track record, okay? So this is third-party verified through myfxbook.com. This has a 600% verified return over a 7 calendar year track record. It has a 32.2% yearly compounding interest, okay? Now, if you know much about the Forex market, you know that 160,000 pips is a whole lot of pips, okay? And this is third-party verified through myfxbook.com and has a 611.53% gain off the initial deposit and investment. Now, this is over a 7 calendar year period. Now, it's very, very important to understand how this works, okay? Now, this is the yearly snapshot, and this just means that since 2010, year after year after year, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calendar years, this has generated a consistent income, which basically means it has not had a losing year in 7 years. Now, think about that for a moment, okay? Now, if you're going to put money aside, you want to just make sure by the end of the year it has made more money than what you put into it, right? It just makes logical sense. There's nothing more. If you really think about it, if you're investing money into something and then 1 year it loses and 1 year it gains and 1 year it loses, 1 year it gains, that can drive tremendous amount of anxiety, as in like, hey, is this really true? Is this really going to happen? Is this really going to work? This has 7 calendar years of gain, which is crazy to think about, but it's real. It's verified, and it's over 160,000 plus pips, and it's over 600+% gain. So if you would have done this in 2010, whatever money you would have put in there and just left it alone, times that by 6, and that's the return. Okay, let's keep going, okay? Now, according to the Dow Jones Industrial Average from November 2010 to February 2017, which, by the way, is like the best time to ever invest into the Dow Jones, because as you can see, it just keeps going up and up and up. From November to February, has an 82.38% gain, which is actually a really wonderful average. If you really think about it, that's a fantastic return on your investment. Now, if you compare that to the nest egg has a 611.53% gain over the apples to apples, and that's a 7.4 times more profitable than the Dow Jones in the past 7 calendar years. So if you really think about it, you're getting more bang for your buck. But let's really put a dollar amount behind this. Okay. So from November 2010 to February 2017, the Dow Jones has generated 82.38% gain. And the beginning account balance, let's just say you put $5,000 in here and you left it alone. You didn't do anything, you just left it alone. Over the last 7 calendar years, you would have made $4,119 US dollars. Now compare that to Nest Egg. Nest Egg has a 611% gain, and from the beginning account balance, okay, of $5,000, apples to apples, if you just leave that alone, you now have $30,550 US dollars, 7.4 times growth with the Nest Egg than the Dow Jones. Now look, I'm not saying that you need to just completely stop your other investments. For those of you who have 401ks, for those of you who have like whole life insurance, for those of you who have like money manager, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is this: when you have something that's doing 7.4 times more profitability or more profit than the Dow Jones, it's worth a shot. It's worth trying it out. Now, I understand that some of you have more than $5,000. So what I want to do is share with you and show you what if. What if you put like $50,000 into this? What would that look like? Let's take a look. Okay, so apples to apples. From November 2010 to February 2017, Dow Jones got over an 82% gain on average, okay? And if you were to put in $50,000, that $50,000 would have made you $41,190 US dollars. And I think this is the true power of the nest egg. Now, the same time, apples to apples, from November 10th to February 2017, nest egg got over a 611% gain. Beginning account balance would be $50,000. That would give you $305,500 US dollars. 7.4 times more profit than just the Dow Jones. And I think you can really see the true impact of the nest egg. Okay, so let me make sure that I'm setting the proper expectations. This does not win every single month. So back in 2010, November and December started out with one winning month and had one losing month. In 2011, it had 4 winning months and 8 losing months. And then in 2013, had a nice little home run, won every single month. And in the last 2 years, it won 9 months and lost 3 months. Now, why am I showing you this? Because the nest egg is designed for you to utilize it longer term to really obtain the nice little compounding residual income goal, okay? Now, if you do this for 1 month or 2 months, you may not reap the full reward or the full benefits. And so I don't want you to have the wrong expectation here, to thinking that this is the end-all be-all. It works very, very well. It has a 611% gain, which is fantastic. It's outperforming the Dow Jones by 7.4 times, which is amazing to think about, okay? And you already saw the numbers. It's third-party verified and a real live trading track. It has a real live trading track record. But it just doesn't print money every single month. You have to be committed to this. Now, if you use this, have the confidence that this will help you and assist you, because this has a 7 calendar year of consecutive net profits, which means by the end of the year it still generates a return, over 611.53% gain. And by the way, you're not really doing any work here. You literally are just standing back. It's not like you're manually placing these trades. It's not like you're sweating over any of this. It's not like you are waking up at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. This is doing all the work for you. It's pretty amazing. It's all cloud-based. So let me break this down, okay? What do you need to know? Well, MTI, which is Market Traders Institute, we are not the custodians of your assets. So this is not a managed account. You are in complete control of your own account. You can pick and choose which currencies you want to trade or follow. You can disconnect your account at any time you so choose. You have the final say. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This works on a MetaTrader 4 trading account only. It's very simple. It's just a trading account platform, kind of like opening up a bank account. MTI will never be physically trading your money. MTI will never ask you to send money for a live trading account. Now, what is this? Well, this is the nest egg. And the nest egg is using a proven trading algorithm. Over 160,000 net pips captured and growing. And if you know about the Forex market, you know that's a whole lot. A 611.53% gain and growing. Third-party verified, third-party tracked, real live money trading account, okay? Life-changing for some, but a dream come true for many. So what do you get? Well, you get the nest egg algorithm, access to an online portal, on-demand pre-recorded onboarding videos, world-class customer service, as well as exclusive 24/5 live over-the-phone customer service. Residual income, that's the goal of making money while you sleep. The nest egg is a month-to-month subscription. It's results-driven and it's designed for wealth building. For many individuals who do this, it would be what they refer to as financial freedom. So how does this work? Well, you're going to sign up for the nest egg today, and then you're going to receive a unique link to your online portal. You're going to create an online profile. You're going to watch your on-demand onboarding videos. You're going to connect your trading account to the nest egg. You're going to connect, set, and forget. Your goal is to enjoy the residual income or making money while you sleep. It's all cloud-based, which basically means you do not have to have your computer on for this to work. Doesn't matter if you're sleeping at home or at work or on vacation, this will work if you have it connected to cloud. Now, how do you sign up? Well, this is all month to month, so you can cancel anytime. What we would strongly suggest that you make it, or you be intentional about doing this longer than just a month to really reap the rewards of the residual income or the compounding opportunities. The nest egg has a value of $199 US a month, and that's what we're going to offer this for. And the reality of this is investment return on investment is actually a pretty small investment compared to what you're receiving in return. But what we're going to be doing for 200 individuals who take action right away, we're giving this our early bird enrollment or early bird sign up, which basically means we want to give you an ongoing gift, okay? But it's only for the first 200 individuals. The first 200 people that do this, instead of paying $199 a month, you can enroll with a $50 savings, saving yourselves $50 or $600 over the year, and you can enroll month to month for $149 a month. Now, that is a $50 monthly savings and an ongoing $600 a year savings. So if you do this for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, you know that this is going to add up big time over time, okay? Now, I understand that some of you in this room have much more than just $5,000. And so what I want to do is I want to give you what's called my retirement plan. Now, I'm utilizing a retirement. Now, really think about this, okay? I'm utilizing a retirement plan. I'm using a spreadsheet that's going to calculate and help me pick a time and a date of how much money I'm going to make, okay? And so you may have more than $5,000, you may have less than $5,000. And so what this retirement plan does is it will allow you to put your money into it, and then you can just put in a percentage gain per month and like how much more money you're going to add, because some of you want to put in more money, some of you want to put in less money, some of you may want to take money out. It's just completely up to you. And so this is going to calculate everything for you. It's really made my life super simple. I've already given this out to like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. I think we're already into the thousands and thousands of people already, and they love it. And so basically what you do with this is you say, okay, well, based upon my business plan or based upon my growth plan, my retirement plan on this date, based upon my projections, I should have this much money coming in per month or per year. If you can't do that, if you don't know how much money you're going to make a year from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, it's going to be very, very challenging for you to make any sort of plan. So I'm going to give this away for the first 200 people that sign up. This is a $995 value. We're giving it for free for the first 200 people that sign up. Okay, so there's 2 ways to sign up. You can do the month to month. You get a $50 monthly savings that's ongoing. Your yearly savings is $600. It's $149 a month subscription, and you can cancel anytime. Okay. The most popular avenue is going to be the 3 months for only $298. Why? Well, it's the largest savings. You get 50% off your first 3 months. That's a $299 savings. And then we're going to still honor the $50 monthly subscription savings, which means you can still lock in $149 a month. That's your biggest bang for your buck. So in my opinion, you really want to go after the 3 months for only $298 because it's a 50% savings. But you know, you can still do month to month, and both options allow you to cancel anytime, okay? Now, why are you going to do this? Well, the reality of this is if you do the Dow Jones route, okay, which is a very popular route, since November 2010 to February 2017, with a $5,000 investment, just leaving it alone, it would have given you a $4,000 some change return. But the nest egg has a 611% gain on average, okay? And that's with a $5,000 investment. That is a $30,550 gain. So, you know, the reality of this is getting a 7.4 times more profitability than the Dow Jones is crazy. And again, I'm not saying stop what you're doing. I'm just saying diversify a little bit. I'm saying this is a huge avenue. But the real reason why you're doing this, the true reason why you're doing this, is for the wealth building and the wealth building mindset. Remember how I talked about at the very beginning of this presentation? A non-wealthy person, doesn't matter if they make $30,000 or $100,000, they'll go find bills to match their income. Where a wealthy person will use their money to make more money, okay? And the purpose of that account is to make even more money to where they can finally live the life in which they deserve, but most importantly, what their family deserves. So let me go ahead and show you that 5 and 10 year projection once again, okay? Because this is the real reason why you're going to try this. Now let's take a look. Now remember, over 5 years, 10 years, or over 5 years and 10 years, if you invest $5,000 a year, and some of you can do much more than this, but let's just say every January 1st, you just put in $5,000 into this account. After 10 years of investing, you're just getting a 5% gain. You can take out every single year $3,551. And that's just after 10 years of investing $5,000 every single year. That is a terrible, terrible thought process. And that is a terrible end goal experience. And this is the biggest reason why most people won't do this. Now, if you do like the money manager side, okay, high risk money manager, you get 15% gain, 5 years, investing $5,000 a year and getting 15% gain return. In 5 years, you have $43,000, 10 years, $121,000. And then after 10 years of doing this, you have $18,000 and some change that you're making every single year, okay? That's what you can take out if you leave your principal alone. But the reason why you're doing the nest egg is the fact that it has a 32.2% average gain per year with a 7 calendar year track record. Because in 5 years, that's a $67,000. In 10 years, your account grows to $319,000. And that allows you, if you just leave that $319,000 in you and never take it out, and it just gets a 32.2% gain per year, that gives you the ability to receive $102,774 US dollars per year. Now look, 10 years from now, I don't care who you are, and 10 years from now, $102,000 is a whole lot of money, okay? Just like $102,000 today is a whole lot of money, $102,000 10 years from now is a whole lot of money. But if you do like a 5% gain, $3,000 is, yeah, it's a lot of money today. Maybe it can cover your car payment, or maybe it can cover like your house payment, your mortgage. But in 10 years, I don't even know if it's going to cover your gas the way things are going. Now that may be an extreme, but you kind of see what I'm trying to get at. The reason why you're going to try this nest egg out is because it works. At the end of the day, it's a 7.4 times more profitability than the Dow Jones, has a 611% gain off the initial deposit investment. So whatever money you put in there in 2010, times it by 6, and that's where you're at, okay? Hey everyone, have a great day. Somewhere on this video, you're gonna see the sign up page. Go ahead and sign up. The first 200 people get this great savings, okay? And the first 200 people get my 5-10 year retirement plan. So you're really, really gonna want that, okay? Hey everyone, have a great day. This is Joshua Martinez.